Hey YouTube, I'm back again, and as you can see, I'm getting set up for my next instalment of the A to Z's, but that's not this video. This is some more pickups. Now, if all goes well, this will be recorded in 3 separate segments. What I've got here now, which is pickups from today, yesterday and earlier in the week, but I'm recording this now because one of the things I've got here is going to CEX soon, this afternoon, but also I'm going into Yarm, where I went yesterday, and forgot my wallet, so I only had the little bit of money I had in my pocket, but I found a bunch of stuff, some for me, some for CEX, but I'll go more into that once I get there. But the long and short of it is, rather than coming back with that stuff, recording it here and then going into town to CEX, I'm going to record that in the car so I can go straight to CEX, which is in a different town to where I'll be then. I know that sounds confusing, but hopefully it'll make sense. And then the final part I'll record once I've got back from CEX, because something I've got here I'm trading in and hopefully picking something else up in town with that money. All will hopefully become clearer. Anyway, Monday, was it Monday or Tuesday? I'm not sure, I can't remember now. Let's just say Monday. I think it was Monday. I went out to Thornaby, and then I went on to Colby Newham, and actually no, some of this is Sunday. Right, so we'll start off with Sunday. So I went back to Age UK for some more of those 4 for 99p. I was looking for those Mythica movies because I found those 2 Mythica movies last weekend, and although they have quite extensive shelves of DVDs, they were in the process of clearing them and I guess replacing the stock with some new stuff. I guess it's something they do every once in a while. They clear the shelves, put new stock on so it looks fresh, and then in a couple of weeks' time swap it over again. That's my interpretation anyway. They were less than halfway through on the Saturday when I went in, so I went back on the Sunday hoping they might have some more of those Mythica movies, but they didn't. Anyway, I got another 4 for 99p. So I bought The Witches of Eastwick. I thought I might have already owned this movie, but I don't. But I do like this film. It's been a long time since I've watched it. Big Fat Liar. This is actually a Region 1. Again, I like this film and I haven't seen it for a long time. The Great Escape. Awesome war, kind of set during the war movie, not necessarily a war movie. But this is a 2-disc set, and you know, for 25p, I thought, what the heck. And then finally, one for trade. This is House of Cards Series 5. I've never seen any of this, but this trades in for £2. So I thought, what the heck. It's wrong end. It's one of these horrible slide the discs in between the card sets, but the discs they're not minty mint, but I think they're CEX passable. Yeah, so that's a £2 trade into that. More than pays for all of these. Then from Sue Riders, they had a couple of what looked like very low budget horror movies that I've never heard of, but I thought it would be good to watch during October. So I got The Slaughter. Like I say, never heard of this. It looks very cheap, but still quite interesting. And again, never heard of this. Wicked's starring Ron Dead Meat Jeremy. Not the usual type of movie that you expect to see Ron Jeremy in, but you know what? I thought I'd give it a go. Like I say, I've never heard of it. It looks cheesy and cheap as hell, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that was last Sunday. So moving on to, I'm pretty sure this was Monday. And like I say, I went to Thornaby, didn't find anything there, so I went. Generally, when I got to Thornaby, Culbinum's only not even 20 minutes ride away. There's a few charity shops and Poundland there, and I found one title in Poundland, Earth 3D. Yeah, I don't think I've even seen this one out in the wild before, let alone had I heard of it. But there's a lot of these nature 3Ds that keep popping up that I've never heard of before. So for a couple of quid, this one looks like it's a previously viewed. Didn't have the sticker on, the £2 sticker on that normally tells you whether it's new or replay, but it doesn't say this one. But with this one you can tell because the sticker is actually underneath the plastic, and that usually means that they've put the sticker on and then resealed it. So that's probably a second-hand one, but that's okay. And then from the charity shop, I think this came from Mind, a TV series that I used to love back in the late 80s, I think it came out. Drop the Dead Donkey. This is the first series, £1.50, a little bit pricey for a DVD from the charity shop, but in this case I thought it was worth it. It is in fact cheaper in CEX. I don't ever remember seeing this in CEX ever, and when I looked, when I saw this, I immediately went on the CEX to see what the price was, and there wasn't one, I think, within 100 miles in store. So, you know, I've never seen this, like I say, out in the, never mind in CEX, I don't think I've ever seen it out in the wild anywhere. Charity shop, car boot sale. Yes, I grabbed it because it was a great series. Then yesterday, when I was in Yarm, the one and only thing I actually had any cash to buy was a Blu Ray for myself, Purple Rain. It was actually £2.50, which is generally more than I would normally pay for a Blu Ray in a charity shop, but yeah, this is something just a little bit special. I've been on the lookout for this for a long time. I own the HD DVD, and it's probably my most viewed HD DVD. This film I really like. But that said, it's a Warner Brothers HD DVD, and although my copy still plays without a problem all these years later, there is always still that chance that it could succumb to the disc rot. I mean, I don't want to get into that subject, but I find that not to be as huge a problem that some people make it out to be. Now, I can't say that I've watched every single Warner Brothers film that I own, or even in recent, year or so have I watched many of them, but I don't have that many that I've tried that are unwatchable. But like I say, kind of edging me bets with this one because I do love this movie, so to have upgraded it to Blu-ray, I'm so happy. And £2.50 for this particular, I think, was a good price, so I'm chuffed that I've got that. And then finally this morning, it's Saturday today, I was just on Facebook, as I am often, mostly on looking for things for sale, and I came across this last night, and it's something that I'd never heard of. Although I know of Jerry Anderson's work, I've never come across Supercar before. And this is a box set of 2 series and some extras. I think it's 7 discs in total. I paid £3 for this. Now this is what I'm taking to CEX. Now it does trade in for £16. However, the cash value is £12, which is 4 times my money. Now, I could put this on eBay and probably get about 20 quid for it. Once I've paid postage, which if I'm selling this for 20 quid, I'm wanting recorded delivery, so that's £4. And when you come to fees and PayPal fees, eBay fees and PayPal fees, that's probably another £3. That's pretty much almost what I'm going to get. A little bit more than what I would get from taking it to CEX, but with none of the hassle. So this is going into CEX. I'm going to go for cash, not for the credit, purely and simply because I spotted some box sets on the market last week. It's a full series, but it's not a full series box set. It's individual half series box sets. I think there's 12 of them altogether. Well, there is 12 of them altogether, and they were wanting £1 a piece, which in itself is cheap. I just didn't want to fork out. For me, 12 quid just seemed a lot of money to fork out, even if it is for a full series. But getting 12 quid cash for this, when I've only paid 3 quid for it, putting that 12 quid towards them DVDs, they will have only essentially cost me £3. I'm happy to do that, more than happy to do that. So yeah, this is going in there today. Once I've been to Yarm and picked up those, hopefully if they're still there, picked up those other things. There's a couple of things there for me as well. One that I'm a bit on the fence about, whether I should buy or not. So yeah, so it's just been a few seconds for you. It's been a couple of hours for me. I'm parked up in Yarm High Street. As I said before, I've come back. I came yesterday, so been on night shift this last week, and usually on a Friday morning, I finished my last night shift on a Thursday night, so on a Friday morning I often go to my mum's for breakfast, as I did this week, and because I was there later than usual, I decided to come into Yarm and have a look around the charity shops. Only when I got here I realised that my wallet was still at home. So I literally had a few pounds in my pocket and I had enough money to buy that Prince Purple Rain Blu Ray, and that was it. But I'd seen a bunch of stuff in Oxfam, mostly for trade, for CEX, but some for me as well. So I've come back this morning, and everything that was there is still there now. Or isn't now because I bought it, but it was there. So what I've got, like I say, is mostly for trade, but some for me. So I picked up The Sims 2 on PlayStation 2 for 99p, and another copy for 99p. One's a platinum, one's a standard release, but they're both trading at £1.80. So why not? Cult Kids selection box. I didn't really have a good look at this yesterday. I just scanned the barcode to see, whether it was any good or not, and I was surprised. I paid £1.99. It's a £4 trade-in, but having looked closer, there's Danger Mouse on here. I've got a feeling I've got some, if not all, of the Danger Mouse on DVD. I'll need to double check that. But it's Count Duckula. It's not the entire Count Duckula, it's just a few episodes. But some really stuff that I loved as a kid. Jamie and the Magic Torch and Charlton and the Wheelies is on here. So I'm a little bit torn now, but it was still, for £2, it was worth getting. And then these last two, one of them I'm on the fence about, and that's Thundercats, the first volume of Series 1. This came out at a time where I was probably too old, and I wasn't interested in it. I didn't watch it because my brother was young enough that he loved these shows as a kid. It was mostly this, Transformers, and a show called Mask. He loved Mask, I think the most, but he'd watch Thundercats. So when he was watching it, occasionally I'd be there and see it, and So anyway, I've lost my train of thought there for a second. So for £2, there's the trading value is £2. So if worst comes to worst, I can trade it in and get my money back, I suppose. Yes, it's not something I ever grew up loving, but I've seen bits of it before, so I'll give it a go. I don't hate cartoons. I mean, as you can tell from that, you know, I had some of the nostalgic stuff from when I was younger. Yeah, I'll give that a go. And then finally, this was a show that I watched back when it aired week to week, and I seem to remember it ended on a cliffhanger and then was cancelled. But this is not just the entire first series, it's the entire series of Invasion. And there's a few well-known faces in there, or certainly in TV world at least. But I didn't realise that, at least I think that's the same girl who died earlier this year. I can't for the life of me remember her name. Really young. She's younger than me, in fact. But yeah, I'm looking forward to giving that another go, because I don't remember that much about it. I seem to remember it was based on the invasion of the Body Snatchers, certainly in premise at least, maybe not the story so much. So yeah, I'm chuffed that I've got that, but just a bit sad that I'm probably going to end up finishing it on a cliffhanger, because that's how I remember it ending. I'm sure that it ended on a cliffhanger and then got cancelled. But again, that was £2. So there we go. That's what I've picked up from the charity shops this morning, or a charity shop. There's only 4 here. One of them, where I got Purple Rain yesterday, some of their prices are obscene. They've got a Blu Ray Steelbook, not in the best condition, of Total Recall, the Schwarzenegger Total Recall. They're asking a tenner, which to me is too much. They've got a bunch of PC games on Steelbook. Far Cry, is it Far Cry 2, I think, and the others I can't even remember. And they're wanting £15 each for those, which is ridiculous. And then most of the DVDs are like £2 and upwards. They've got some Red Dwarf. I went blank for a sec there. Red Dwarf, half seasons, half sets. So I think it's series 1 to 4, and then the other one's a box set of series 5 to 8, I believe. And they're asking about £8 each for those, which again is way too much. And that's Mind, because I can see it right now, but I'm not going to point the camera in it, because some angry looking bloke stood right outside looking in my direction, and I'm not going to put a camera on him, because that might provoke him. Anyway, so yeah, we've got Mind, we've got Oxfam, we've got Age UK, and Butterwick Hospice was the 4th one. They're doing 3 for £1 on DVDs, but only single DVDs or movies, I guess. They've got some TV show box sets which are more expensive, including I don't know if it's complete, but they've got a Miss Marple set which is pretty thick. I reckon there's probably 18 discs in there that they're asking a tenner, no, £12 for, but it trades for a tenner at CEX. They sell it for 20. So I decided not to bother with that, because it's not something I don't think I'd watch. Anyway, I'm whittering on, and this video with the I think the first part was over 12 minutes, so this is going to put me over 20 minutes, and I've still got, depending on what I get in Stockton in an hour's time or so when I get there, there will be a third part of this video. Anyway, moving on quickly, I just had to have a quick look on IMDb because it was bugging me. Right there, it says right there, Lisa Sheridan. That is the actress that sadly died earlier this year. The show that I remember from was Journeyman, which was from 2006 or 7, something like that, which was another great show. in my opinion, that ended on a cliffhanger and got cancelled. So yeah, just a quick note there. Yeah, moving on. Okay, so I'm back home. Managed to get to CEX, traded in all my pickups, got almost £10 voucher, and got £12 cash for that supercar box set. So I'm very happy. Well, with that part of the day at least. I've been around the charity shops and to the market in town, and I'm very disappointed in that sense. But I kind of made up for it. So first of all, with the charity shops, I went into another Butterwick Hospice, had a quick look through the DVDs, and this is one of the few shops that also do VHS, and I grabbed a couple of VHS, two films that I don't particularly need on VHS, but just a little bit of nostalgia, and they were 10p each. So I grabbed Jason and the Argonauts and Heathers. Jason and the Argonauts I've got on DVD. Heathers I actually have on Blu Ray as well. And the DVD, I think I might have got rid of the DVD, but I did have a DVD. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, just a little bit of nostalgia. I love both of these movies. For 10p on VHS, I'm happy to grab them. And then also from Butterwick Hospice, I got this, and this is not the film I first thought it was, at least as I looked at it, The Girl on the Train, which I own on Blu Ray, except this is a different one, with Henry Ian Cusack from Lost, and Stephen Lang, of course, from Avatar. Whether this is a different version of the same story, I don't know, but it sounds interesting. I haven't seen The Girl on the Train, the Emily Blunt movie, although I do own it. But from what I was reading on the back of it, it sounds as if it could be similar. But it's 25p, so I thought, why not? Then a different Butterwick Hospice. These are 25p each. So I got some Jackie Chan, Robin B. Hood. It's a 2-disc set. I'm assuming the second disc is special features. I have never seen this, but I'm always up for a bit of Jackie Chan. And I got a movie double bill, Father of the Bride 1 and 2. I own these on DVD individually, but have them both in one set just saves that little bit of space. And for 25p, I thought, why not? And this is just, looks like some cheesy nonsense that will pass a couple of hours. Ocean's Rising. I don't recognise any of the cast in this, but it just, again, for 25p, why not? Then moving on to Age UK, once again, their 4 for 99p offer. Too Young to Die. I kind of remember the title, but I thought it was something completely different. But this is Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis. It looks as if it was probably made a similar time to California, which they were both in. But yeah, it's still sealed, and I thought, again, why not? Now this is some cheesy nonsense, but it's a lot of fun. Wing Commander, based, I'm assuming, based on the video game, with Saffron Burrows and Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. The two blokes, at least, were in the Scooby-Doo movies. I think she was in Deep Blue, was it Deep Blue Sea? The shark movie? I'm sure she was. The Borrowers, again, something that I know of, but this particular version I didn't know existed. There was a BBC, I think it was a BBC TV show from the 80s, which I've got on VHS. And of course there's Arrietty, the Studio Ghibli animation that's also based upon the Burrows as well. But this particular version, yeah, I'd never heard of. And finally, as part of this 4 for 99p, I got Twilight New Moon. Didn't have this, or at least not currently. I've originally had the first 3 Twilight movies on this in steelbook form, as all 3 in one set, but I sold that with, well, I didn't sell it actually, I give that one away. But anyway, I don't have that anymore, and I got, I think, clips not so long ago, so it's just the first one that I need. I already had the other 2, Breaking Dawn 1 and 2, on Blu-ray. What we got next? Sue Riders, again, from as part of their 2 for £1 deal. Even though these are labelled up as £1 each, it's essentially buy one get one free, but they don't word it as that. It just says DVDs 2 for £1. I don't have much expectation of any of this, but it just all looks weird and wonderful, I suppose. Don't Look in the Basement. It looks like a very, very low budget horror, similar to the ones that I got earlier in the week that you'll have seen in the early part of this video from again from Sue Riders. Yeah, it just looks cheap and nasty, but I'm sure it'll be cheap and nasty, I suppose. Hell Asylum. I like the tagline for this. The body count has to be seen to be believed. Yeah, we'll see about that. But again, it just looks ridiculously cheap, which is why I want to watch it. Army of the Dead, once again. Never trust a skeleton. I'll try that again. Never trust a skeleton with a shotgun. That alone has sold me. And the picture, which by looks of it is exactly the same shot, exactly the same photo, just multiple times for the cover, which again is just so cheap and nasty. And then a National Lampoon's, I've never ever heard of this one, Cattle Call. I don't know anything about this. Nicole Eggert, I've heard that name before, but I don't know where. The others, and none of the cast that it shows in this. I've seen his face as well, but I don't recognise the name. I think he might have been in American Pie, but I'm not sure. I know I've seen that face somewhere. Right, last of all, my intention was for the money that I got for that supercar box set, I was going to go onto the market and get some DVD box sets that he had up for sale last week that I didn't buy. He wasn't there at all. His stall just wasn't there this morning, well, this afternoon by the time I got there. But there is another stall on the market that sells DVDs. Generally I normally have a quick look as I pass, but I don't really look closely because he almost never has Blu-rays, and his DVDs are often quite expensive. He always has boxes full of DVDs for £1, but usually they're ones you can get in the charity shop for the likes of this, 2 for £1, 3 for £1, whatever. But he had a small box of Blu-rays, which was all mixed in with the DVDs. But it wasn't mixed in with the DVDs, but it was mixed in with the same price point. And I kind of glanced, and I saw £2, and I saw what I thought was 3 for £5. And I thought, I'll have a look at 3 for £5. When I actually looked closely, the sign was quite faded, and it was water damaged. It'd obviously been out in the rain. It actually said £1 each. I think it was 3 for £2 or 10 for £5. I thought, well, at 10 for £5, I'm definitely going to have a look. I managed to find 8 Blu-rays, and I finished off with a couple of DVDs. So basically, these are all 50p each. So the 2 DVDs, once again, well, not really, but it's produced by Jackie Chan, but it's Gen X Cops. I've never seen this before. I kind of heard the name before, but you know what, for 50p I'll give it a go. And with some actual Jackie Chan, the original Police Story. This is one of the Hong Kong Legends collection. I think I got Police Story 2, Hong Kong Legends, not that long ago, so that will add to that. Now the first two of these I got literally for trade. I'll say the first two, I've got them all out of order now. So yeah, I got Elf. I really don't like this movie. Will Ferrell, for me, is the least funny person on the planet. I just don't like the stuff that he does. I think I can count maybe 2 films that I've seen of his that are almost tolerable. But this, yeah, I don't like it at all. But it's a £1.20, I think, trade-in value. So yeah, that'll be going into CEX, as will this one. Jason Bourne. I already own this. It's a £1 trade-in, so yeah, between those two will get almost half the money back for this bunch. This one's got a digital code. Just trying to focus in there. So if you want to give it a go, by all means. I don't know if it's still valid. It could well have been redeemed by now. If it's good, if it's bad and you try it, just let me know in the comments below. You know, either it worked or it didn't. That way I can just pin it to the top, and then anyone else can look and see whether it's been redeemed or not. Moving on. The Knight Templar. Again, I don't know anything about this, but it was one that I don't own. So I thought, what the heck? Absolutely fabulous. The series was okay, but not fantastic. But again, it's 50p. The Ugly Truth, decent cast. This is a foreign release, as can be seen by the rating on there, which is an 11, which is a rating I've never seen before, I don't think. But I don't know where it's from. The Bay, slipcover, Quartet. Again, another film with a reasonably looking cast, and I do like Billy Connolly. And then finally, I couldn't believe that this was in there. I mean, it's nothing particularly special, but it's some Star Trek, and it just happens to be my favourite Star Trek movie, First Contact. So yeah, that makes 10. So 8 Blu-rays, 2 DVDs for a £5. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good deal. There were a few others, but Blu-rays, but they were all ones, pretty much all ones that I owned. And there weren't any others that immediately struck me as being worth anything for trade. Anyway, that's it for this segment of the video, and I think this video is going to be absolutely ridiculous in length with these 3 parts that I've recorded, unless I can maybe trim the fat a little, which I don't know, we'll see. But if you've got this far, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-ra.